A couple is being charged with trafficking their adopted black children to be used as slaves. That and more. The Chris Talk Show starts right now. Let's get into it. Welcome, listeners, to another episode of the show. I am your host with the most, Chris Talks. All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, listeners. This episode is going to bring us to where West Virginia. Okay, a West Virginia couple is charged with trafficking their adopted black children to be used as slaves.
Bruh.
That's what I'm saying. All right, listen, as always, I'm going to let Sarah, my AI, report this story. And I'm going to give you my view and my opinion at the end. All right, let's get into it. Hit it.
Thank you, Chris. Two West Virginia parents are awaiting trial on more than a dozen charges after adopting 4 black children and allegedly using them for forced labor on their farm. Court documents show Jean Whitefeather, 62, and Donald Lance, 63, who are both white, have been charged with human trafficking of children, civil rights violations, use of a minor child in forced labor, and child neglect, according to the 17-count indictment. Madison Tuck, assistant prosecuting attorney for Kanawha County, West Virginia, told CNN Wednesday that the trial is set to begin on September 9. Tuck said the children are all safe but declined to give further details about their location. Lance and Whitefeather entered not guilty pleas during a June 11 arraignment. Mark Plants, an attorney representing Whitefeather, told CNN Thursday that his client absolutely, emphatically, denies the allegations. We're talking about 2 parents who adopted 5 black children, has cared for them for the last 8 years. And this is going to come out at trial. And we'll let the jury decide at the end of the day. But we absolutely, emphatically deny the allegations. Lance's attorney did not immediately return requests for comment. During the arraignment, 13th Judicial Circuit Judge Mary Claire Akers said, "I don't think I've ever seen an indictment like this in all of my time." Akers, referencing the indictment, said it alleges the children were targeted because of their race to be used as basically slaves. CNN has obtained court documents related to the case, which began in October 2023 when Kanawha County Sheriff's deputies responded to a 911 call raising concerns about the children. CNN requested a copy of the 911 call, but authorities declined to release it. The 911 caller reported the children were made to do farm work and not allowed inside the house, according to a sworn statement from the deputy who responded to the call. A news release from the sheriff's office noted that deputies had to force entry into the barn where they located a juvenile male and juvenile female locked inside an approximate 20 x 14-foot room. The children had no means to exit the barn on their own. No running water, no bathroom facilities, and were obviously deprived of adequate hygienic care and food, the release said, according to the deputy's sworn statement. The female juvenile also stated she and her 14-year-old brother were not allowed inside the house. There were no accessible windows in the room or way for the children to exit. If there were a medical emergency or fire, the children would be unable to exit the locked room to safety. The statement said, when Whitefeather and Lance arrived hours later, the deputy wrote, Ms. Whitefeather made the admission to Det. Alford that the children were left in the shed but stated they like it. An affidavit from a lieutenant in the sheriff's office indicated that the police encounter in October 2023 was preceded by 2 other concerned 911 calls about the well-being of the children. Both callers, in May and June 2023, told dispatchers that children living there were sleeping in the barn and using a portable toilet outside. According to the affidavit, both times, Whitefeather and Lance claimed to responding deputies that they had just moved to the site from Washington state and were using the portable toilet due to plumbing issues in their new home. The statement said, Ms. Whitefeather told the deputies that people in the area don't like them, and vehicles had been stopping on the roadway in front of their residence. The lieutenant wrote of the June 2023 encounter. This call was cleared with no police action necessary. A grand jury returned an indictment against Whitefeather and Lance in May that allege, among other things, that the couple did, knowingly, feloniously, and willfully traffic a minor, and did recruit, entice, and obtain the victim of the offense from a shelter and facility that serves runaway youths, children in foster care, the homeless and victims of human trafficking, domestic violence and sexual assault. The pair are each being held on $500,000 cash-only bonds, according to an arraignment order. Back to you, Chris.
Man, that's you already know what to do. Let's get into it. All right. What are these people's names again? Mister, what is it? White cock, white hole, white what? Okay, what is it? White feather, white feather, white father, white feather. Which one is it? Okay, white feather, Mrs. White Feather, and this other guy, Auntie Lances, Lindas, whatever. All right, these two characters here, man. Yo,
Bruh.
I don't know what y'all thinking, but they need to. I mean, that's one way of dealing with it.
Bruh.
But first, give them the dummy buzzer, please. Both of them, and let's give the CPS system in West Virginia. Let's give them the dummy buzzer too. Because my question is this, simply this, okay? How was these people allowed, allowed to adopt any children, okay? Any children.
Bruh. Bruh.
Now, it don't matter the race. Just how was they allowed to do that?
What?
I can't understand Virginia's qualification. What qualifications that you would need for their adopted, as far as just being a caretaker for a child, as well as adopting children. What would, I don't understand what are the qualifications there at all.
Bruh.
I don't understand. This Caucasian couple was able to adopt four. Was it 4 or 5? Because I thought I heard they say 5 in the thing, but anyway, 4 or 5. Okay, melanin kids. Like,
Bruh.
I think there's an issue. Okay, and I said this before, and listeners, please don't throw me under the bus for what I'm about to say. Okay,
Bruh.
but as far as interracial adoptions are concerned, I don't think that these things should really happen, and let me explain why. The reason I say this is because of culture.
Bruh.
No, for real. The reason I say this is because of culture.
Message.
I don't think Indian, you know what I'm saying? Somebody who's Indian raising somebody who is of a darker skinned melanin person, I don't think that would be as well as good. Let's just take it straight up. An Indian raising somebody who is from Africa, like straight from Africa. I'm not talking about African Americans, like some of y'all identify with.
Bruh.
I'm talking about somebody who is literally from Africa, maybe one of the what can we say, like Liberia, but somebody from India and somebody from Liberia, an Indian adult raising a Liberian child, or vice versa. Okay, the culture and the traditions are completely different.
Message.
And I mean, let's be honest. When we do these interracial adoptions and stuff like that, eventually when the child grow up, the child wants to learn about their culture.
Bruh.
So to me, it's like I agree with it, but I don't agree with it. It's like, you know what I'm saying? it's a two-headed coin. Don't boo me. I'm just saying it's a two-headed coin. I'm a two-headed coin. I told you. I mean, in a way, I do agree with it, but in a way, I I don't. You know what I'm saying? And to me, this is one of the examples of why I don't. Now, I'm not saying all Caucasians are bad. Okay, all Caucasians are not bad. This group of Caucasians happen to treat these children like as if we were really back, like back in the slavery days, like really, really back in the slavery days.
Wait, what?
I mean, this couple, they kept these children on a farm, and I checked a different source as well. I wanted to let y'all know that I checked a different source as well. The other source indicates that there have been, well, more than a few, but there were numerous reports. There wasn't just a few reports. The police were called to this address several times. Okay,
Bruh.
because of the mistreatment of these children. So let's give a round of applause real quick to their Caucasian neighbors. Let's give them a round of applause for bringing this to the light to the police department. And let's give a round of another one to the police department for reacting as quick as that, as quick as they did to stop this. It is because of the police force that this investigation did continue, and it is because of the surrounding neighbors that this investigation was able to continue. And hopefully, these two people, hopefully, there is enough evidence to find both of these people guilty. Because to me, they are guilty. Going to shelters, going to, well, what we call or I can't even say the word. I can't say the word. Orphanage, whatever. A group home, okay? That's what we call it these days, okay? A group home, all right? That's what we call it. We call it a god group home, okay? Going to group homes, picking out kids. I mean, these people were acting like we were really like they were living in in like the real slavery days.
Bruh.
But they were doing it to children. I mean, like back in slavery when they were selling us, they would go for the biggest guy. You know what I'm saying? Or the biggest girl. But these people were doing it at group homes, going into group homes, going into different agencies. Well, it wasn't different adoption agencies, but it was different group homes. And yes, they were recruiting from shelters. And I mean,
Bruh.
from shelters.
Wait, what?
Shelters.
Wait, what?
I can't believe that these people actually did that. It's hard enough that the youth have to deal with what they have to deal with. I mean, a lot of these children that are sitting in these group homes, some of their families don't want them. Some of their families don't have the means to provide for them. And in some situations, some of their families are so what what's the proper word to use for this? Hooked on whatever drug or poison of their choice that they are unable to tend to their children in a proper way. And in some of these situations, you know, and I know people, I know a lot of people who have went through this situation to where their caregivers have passed away, and there's nobody who is able to take care of them, so they are picked up by the state and have to be put in to group homes and end up going up for adoption and end up some of them end up with good parents, some of them end up with parents just like this. But I will tell you this, I have heard a lot of stories. I have never in my in life heard of any like this. This is some real crazy all my listeners, y'all have to admit, this is some crazy okay? It really is. It really is. Keeping these kids in a barn with no bathroom. Do you know what a barn looks like? Have you ever seen a barn? Have you ever seen a barn?
Bruh.
Have you? Have you ever seen a barn? Have you ever been to? Okay, you've been to a barn, right? Okay, like some barns have a second level. Okay, where they have a ladder. It looks like a loft. And some barns, they don't have no second level, but everything is completely boarded up.
Bruh.
I mean, barns are built. They they're big storage houses. They're big sheds.
Bruh.
That's all they are. A big shed. How many sheds you know? Barns, sheds with windows,
Bruh.
with a toilet,
Bruh.
with a stove.
Bruh.
All right, not even a hot plate.
Bruh.
Like, come on. Like, come on. Before I forget, shout out to CNN. Give them a round of applause real quick. For dropping this version of the story, but there is more to this. These people are going to be facing a lot of jail time. Anybody who does this to children should be buried under the jail. Okay, under, yes, under the freaking jail. All right,
Bruh.
yeah, under it. Okay, if you think otherwise, I don't know what that. The people who do things like this to children, they don't ever need to come out, ever. To do something like this to a child, to take away their innocence, and especially use them like this. I mean, come on. Think about all the stuff that people do, harm that people do to children. Think about all these crazy demonic people. I mean, come on. And it's always children. Always children. I did a report about this months ago about how our children are disappearing, how they are being trafficked to not just different cities but different countries, and they are being used just like this. I'm happy that um, they were caught. I'm happy that they were caught. But I mean, America, people, I said it before and I'll say it again. We have got to do better.
Message.
And you won't see no melanin. Now, I'm just being serious. You won't see no melanin people kidnapping some Caucasians and putting them to work like that on no farm.
Bruh.
Like, for real. You don't see that happen. But you see these uppity people, I guess these, what do they call them now? I forget the word, but it's just the fact that they try to run. And this is what it really is. They try to run like an illegal sweatshop, basically, on American soil.
Bruh.
This is exactly what happened, ladies and gentlemen. This is exactly what I think happened. Now, all these things claim to be, as far as the title is concerned, allegedly happened. I don't think that these things allegedly happened. I believe that these things did happen. I believe that these children were sitting there. They were stored inside of this shed. They were not treated right. They were not properly tended to or not properly taken care of. And I also think that the state, uh, this is a state, right? Okay, that the West Virginian CPS system needs to be investigated.
What?
They need to definitely be investigated, because my question, and I'm pretty sure everybody that's listening to me is asking, how was this couple able to adopt 4 children? Doesn't matter the race or the culture, but 4 children, and also have so many phone calls made by the police on them. This is what I don't understand. This is what I don't understand. How are they able to do this? Because this is, and I just want my listeners to understand this. This is how I feel about this. This was not something that they picked up 4 kids and then said, okay, we're going to put them to work on the farm. This was not something like that. Okay, not at all. They were taking these kids one by one, and as they recruited them, they were making them work on the farm. My question is this, as everybody else, how did their CPS department not notice any of the signs of abuse?
Bruh.
How was it not noticed? I'm just saying, take a second and think about that. How was none of this noticed?
Bruh.
Because these children were not properly fed. And then the lady, this is what bugs me out. I just want to bring this up real quick. The couple claims that the children like to sit in the barn. Okay, let's play with that theory. Let's play with this theory that the children like to sit in the barn. These children were not just found sitting in the barn. These children were locked in the barn. When you're locked in the barn, if, like I said, if you ever seen a barn, the lock is on the outside, not on the inside. So they are unable to get out. Even if they had one of those little I forget the name of this, but you know the lock that flips from the inside and outside. It works on both sides. Even if they had one that worked on both sides, neither one of these children were capable to lift it to open the door.
Bruh.
So I mean, just off of that, just off of those facts, what do you think? I ask my listeners, what do you think happened in this situation? According to what the what is her name again? Miss White Skin. What is her name? White Feather. That's her last name. According to what Miss White Feather has said to the police. And it's kind of sad because these people are very, very old. That's why it sort of fits in place. The female is 62 years old. The male is 63 years old. I mean,
Bruh.
they were probably around in those Martin Luther King days. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, and they from West Virginia.
Bruh.
So, I'm just saying. And that's my view and that's my opinion on this particular topic. Drop my bar real quick. All right, listeners. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. I mean, that's my view. That's my opinion. I mean, I hope they get the maximum. Even though they so old, you know what I'm saying. If you give them 15, if you give them 10 years, they're not going to make it. That's a 10 years is a life sentence right there. Because they so old. But whatever the maximum sentence is, I hope that they get it. I hope that they I don't even know why they got bond. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that they should have got bond at all.
Bruh.
I'm just saying. All right, listen. Let's pay these bills real quick. All right, y'all already know what's going on. If you like this content and want to hear more of it, y'all already know what to do. Check us out on our YouTube page, our Facebook page. Also, all the links and everything are right there on your screen. You know, at the end of the show, they're right there. I want to thank all my listeners for tuning in. You could be anywhere else in the world, but you are here with me, and I so appreciate that. Also, stay blessed and not stressed. Until next episode, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see y'all later. Peace out.